welcome to Living with Ulcerative Colitis. I'm Maya, and today we're going to have a story time about Pouchitis. So a couple weeks ago, I filmed a video entitled things that, complications or things that can arise based on having ulcerative colitis and then getting the J pouch. And I just happened to say, but I have never had pouchitis, because that was one of the two things. It was stoma obstruction and pouchitis. And I said, I have never had that. And, that is no longer true. A lot of you, if you've watched a couple of my videos from the last, I'd say maybe 6 weeks, you've heard me talk about the fact that 10 weeks ago from today, I ate. My mom went to the farmer's market and she bought these really decadent, delicious, like just juicy peaches. And she bought a bushel of them. And I don't know how many peaches are in a bushel, but it was a lot of peaches. And I don't usually eat fruits that can cause diarrhea, like prunes, plums, and peaches, and apricots. Like I eat them in moderation, maybe one in an entire month. But this first day, I'd happened to eat one and nothing happened. And so the next day I ate 1 or 2, and the day after that, and it basically went for like 7 days. And in the 6 days, nothing happened. There was no change in my diet. I was able to eat anything I wanted. My appetite was really stimulated. It was not suppressed. So I thought that maybe my body had moved past diuretic fruits and I could now eat them. But on the 7th day, it was like I had an overload of dietary fiber in my diet, and my output started to slowly go to like a liquid state the first week. And so in that first week, that happens sometimes for me around my cycle. My output will go kind of wonky. So I thought it was like a temporary thing, but the second week it wasn't going to liquid, it was liquid. So I started to try different things to, make it work. I tried tater tots, which usually work really well to thicken up output. But in this case, they worked when I was eating the tater tots and a couple hours after the tater tots, but after the tater tots were out of my system, my output would just go back to liquid. And then I tried Imodium, which worked again when the Imodium was in my system, so for that day and a half, but afterwards it would just go back to liquid. So I figured that I might be dehydrated. And so the third week, I drank a lot of water and I got my output back to like a workable consistency. And I thought that that was the end. And this was about like, say, week 4. And I was going into another phase of my cycle. My body changed from during this time, my body usually goes more to like a liquid state. But when it did it this time, it went from what the water had made it to just not. And it came with a lot of pressure and air that just kept building in my stomach. And that air I couldn't get rid of. And I couldn't get rid of that air for a lot of weeks. But unlike the output, I couldn't figure out how to get rid of it in any sense. We tried a lot of things. Well, I tried a lot of things. I tried like seeing what was causing it, because I thought maybe, because there are foods that produce air. They produce a lot of air in your body, like carbonated drinks, beans, like the like. So I thought maybe it was dumb, but I wasn't eating those things, so I still couldn't figure out where all this air was coming from. And then the air I could deal with to a certain point, but then closer that we got to today, to the now, I begin having a sense of urgency to go to the bathroom. And before I ate the peaches, I went to the bathroom, maybe give or take. The normal was like 4. And now I was running to the bathroom over and over. And for anyone that has a J pouch, having an urgency to go to the bathroom about 15 times a day is not normal. But for me, I kept thinking that what I was doing was fixing the problems, and then another one would arise. And so now we think they were all one big problem, and my body was trying to help itself. And so we think that when I ate the peaches, I made a lot of dietary fiber, and I messed up with the balance inside of my GI tract, which ulcerative colitis and having a J pouch is all about having a balanced diet. It's one of the only ways to have to have a sense of normalcy. And so eating all those peaches, that was not balanced. That did not help with a sense of normalcy. Eating those fruits, as I said, once in a while works. But eating them the way I ate them, that does not work. Though delicious. It was delicious going down, but it doesn't work. So on Monday, after spending the weekend with a lot of pressure, a lot of air, that sense of urgency, and I began having a nausea sensation. Because though the air was pushing downwards, I began having it come up as acid reflux. And for me, nausea and vomiting is something that my doctor told me that if you ever vomit, you need to come in, because that's not normal. And so with the increasing nausea, it wasn't great. And I'd also, in the process of having to go to the bathroom and all of the pushing and straining to use the bathroom, with the output going to liquid and then going solid and going to liquid and I ended up creating a hemorrhoid, an internal one and an external one, which I didn't know I had an internal one until this past Monday. And so every time I went to the bathroom, I experienced a very high amount of pain, which is not normal. So if you experience a lot of pain while going to the bathroom over a long length of time, you should get that checked out. That's not normal. And my length of time was about 4 weeks. And so we went in. Mom noticed that I was feeling really lethargic and really exhausted, because going to the bathroom that often, it was every time I ate food, my stomach would gargle, and then I would have to go. So it was constant, and it seemed like my life was revolving around going to the bathroom, eating food, and sleeping. It overtook my entire day. And I found out that I wasn't really doing much. I couldn't do simple things like stand up, sit down, because then the air would build. And having that much air, also not normal. So I'm saying all this to say, I want this platform to be a place where you guys can come and seek answers to your questions, and so that you don't have to go through things like I'm going through. My doctor prescribed an antibiotic that is helping really well. Only thing is, antibiotics, their job is to get rid of the good and the bad bacteria. So I'm also taking a probiotic to replace the good bacteria that the antibiotic is also taking. And for the internal hemorrhoid, I have a suppository, and for the external one, I have an ointment. And so it's been a lot, and it's been a very long 10 weeks. For me, the reason why this is a video I wanted to put out is because I have never had pouchitis. I didn't know what the symptoms looked like. I didn't know, I didn't even know that it was happening. They say that after your surgery, you can have pouchitis about 2 years or so after you have your surgery. It's not uncommon, it is not rare, it is a very common complication of having a J pouch. And I'm almost 4 years post-op. And so for me, pouchitis was something that I didn't even consider it to be until it got to where it was. And so when I found out it was, I went in and I got checked. And pouchitis is a diagnosis only your doctor can give. That is not something that I self-diagnosed. It was something that my primary care provider told me that is what I had. I had to do some labs to get confirmation, and then I got medicine. So it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. I learned a lot about my body in the process, and that it's very strong, my body. I felt really bad because I ate all the peaches and I kind of caused it myself, but I'm feeling better, and I felt that was important to share. So I hope this was helpful. Please do note the things that I said are not normal. If you are experiencing these things, I suggest getting an appointment with your doctor if you're experiencing any irritation, pain, or discomfort for a long amount of time. Mine was weeks, but I'm saying a long amount of time. Please do go get checked out. Or if you have a platform where you can talk to your doctor or nurses, I would then ask questions, because questions, they save you time and they can save you not having any pain. So ask questions, communicate with your doctors about how you're feeling. But I hope this video was helpful. Please like, share, subscribe, and press the bell for notifications. Bye guys!